Hello MGTOW, hello men, this is Howard Dare, thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about why women love to shop and why men hate it. And I want to read an article, and I'll point to it in the description below. Why women love to shop. You see it in every shopping mall. Men sitting outside the clothing store waiting for the wife to come out. Why is it that women love to try on every pair of shoes before deciding whether to buy anything at all? And men want to get out of the mall seconds after they get in. In all the genes, according to Daniel Kruger, an evolutionary psychologist at the University of Michigan, Kruger argues that it's natural for women to love to shop and men to hate it because of our evolutionary past. Men were the hunters in our ancestral cultures, so when they find a satisfactory specimen, whether it's an elk or a pair of shoes, they want to shoot it and get out before it gets away. Women, by contrast, were the primary gatherers in early hunter-gatherer cultures, so they feel a need to check every berry on the bush to make sure they're getting the best deal. That's why, during the holiday season, you're likely to see a lot of men cooling their heels and a lot of women shopping until they drop. It's mandated by the evolutionary process that guided us out of the woods and into the mall. Kruger, who normally studies gender differences in such things as relationships and roles, is the lead author of a research paper, Evolved Foraging: Psychology Underlies Sex Differences in Shopping Experiences and Behaviors, in the December issue of the Journal of Social, Evolutionary, and Cultural Psychology. The idea behind the research began during a trip across Central Europe with his wife and a few friends. Man hunt, woman tend cave. We had been visiting quaint little villages in the middle of winter when there weren't many tourists, and when we reached the tourist mecca of Prague, the guys wanted to go out and see all the historical sites, and the girls wanted to go shopping, Kruger said in a telephone interview. We, the guys, couldn't imagine why they would want to do that. There ensued a heated discussion, he recalled, after which the guys checked out the cultural attractions and the girls went shopping. Why women like shopping, why men hate it. When they came back with all the purchases, it was almost like a conquest, an expedition, he added. They wanted to show us all the wonderful things they had found. The women, it seems, had gone gathering, and the men, of course, had gone hunting, culturally speaking. Surely, he thought, there must be a deeply rooted reason why girls are so different from boys, even when it comes to shopping. When he returned to the Ann Arbor campus, Kruger and a research assistant, also male, began poring over the anthropological literature to see if they could find parallels between the ancestral cultures from which humans have continued to evolve and the current citadels of modern society, the shopping mall. Briefly stated, they found that early hunters, which were usually men, could use the sun to determine directions like east or west, and likely followed Euclidean navigation, meaning they understood enough about the world around them to go quickly to the beast of prey, slay it, and return home by the shortest route. Sort of like the way a guy picks out an anniversary card. Gathering is social, hunting is solitary. Ancestral women, however, did most of the gathering, so they navigated by knowing which berry patch was the most productive last season, even if they didn't know the difference between east and west. And they probably gathered food alongside other female members of the tribe. So gathering, like today's shopping, was probably a social event. As Kruger noted in his study, gathering is much more conducive to socialization than is stalking game. One reason, the study notes, is keeping quiet is much less important when stalking vegetables than when hunting an elephant. The researchers recruited 467 undergraduate students to take part in an experiment. They were asked which, among many statements, applied to them. When, in a large, unfamiliar shopping center, I try to get my bearings as quickly as possible. Obviously a hunter. Or, I like to see a large assortment of colors and styles, and then I can pick the ones that are most like what I want. A gatherer, and so on. Why women like shopping, why men hate it. In the end, Kruger said they found strong and striking parallels along gender lines between the skills that would have aided ancestral hunters and gatherers and modern-day shoppers. In other words, the men wanted to kill and get out. The women wanted to look around a little more, continuing the search for that special berry patch. There was, however, one area where the data did not entirely support the hypothesis. The men didn't really think they were out for the kill when asked about shopping. Apparently, there's a lot of difference between the Serengeti and the shopping mall. But, by and large, Kruger insists, the data strongly supported the idea that modern women used skills dating back to their days as gatherers while on shopping expeditions. And men really are still on the hunt. All these centuries later, he adds, the difference persists. Not always, of course. Some men love shopping, and some women hated, he noted. But the masses generally conform to his expectations. Why should anyone care? Kruger hopes this bit of knowledge will help some men and women understand the differences between the genders a little better, thus easing the trauma of shopping. That's apparently already the case in parts of Europe. In Germany, they have a sort of day care center for men, Kruger said. They have places where they can hang out, drink beer, and play with power tools while their partner goes shopping. As a male, I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, there you go. So that's an interesting article, isn't it? And as the author states, I hope that reading it and sharing it can give men some insights into the situation and ease the situation and the tension created when men and women are shopping. Because modern life has made shopping such a fundamental part of our existence. And if you look at the hypergamy of women and their mate selection, it's really geared towards shopping, isn't it? And then when you consider the idea of advertising and marketing and its effectiveness in shaping the mind, it's almost like the woman has become a tool of advertising and marketing, and she's just fulfilling this genetic evolutionary requirement for resources. And the mall is like the ultimate exploitation of that, and certain aspects of advertising as well. And it really is fascinating that there is this fundamental gender difference. So whenever I come across these fundamental gender differences, I like to point them out and talk about them, because feminists suggest that it's all socialization, that there is no difference. And yet the way that men and women shop and interact with advertising is completely different. And you can see that advertising plays to this instinctual aspect of the female, and then she carries it over into her interaction and relations with the man. How much money is really kind of like saying, how many times can I go to the mall? How much can I shop with abandon, without concern, without worry? That's what the women want. And you can certainly witness the unease and discomfort of the men in this situation. I don't like the malls at all. I can't imagine why they would be so, packed and difficult to get into. I used to love them when I was younger, I suppose. Not really. More of a crowd and a nuisance to me. Interesting to look at a few things once in a while, but not really. It's almost like it wants you to walk around and desire things that you just don't have. It just wants to present things to you that you currently don't have, as if these are the most important things in the world and your life will be complete if you have these things. When, what a horrible way to go through existence, always desiring something that you don't have. And what a coup for the advertising and marketing industry, to have people walking around in that state of mind. And a rational, intelligent, hardworking, healthy man, it's just not going to happen. He's going to, find the tools that he needs to do the job, find the things that he needs to get by, and then he's going to do the job of a man, which is essentially to stake out territory and to have dominion and, to be a man. But the woman, no, she's like a child. You can constantly divert her attention. You can constantly get her, to want more and to be this materialistic thing which betrays pretty much everything, but, betrays these fundamental values that you need in order to really sustain yourself through really difficult times. It's like, what's the most important things in life? And, you're going to say money and shelter and possessions. And if you don't have those things, yeah, you're screwed, that's it. But if you compromise, all of your principles and all of your values to get those things, and if you exist in a system which denigrates and belittles all of your values and motivations just to get those things, it's going to be very hard to motivate yourself to get up, to move and go through life. And isn't that what we see with the men? Just dragging themselves through this horrible existence of satisfying this unsatisfiable need within the woman to have more stuff. And everything around the society is just built around this, and exploiting this weakness within the woman. And then she uses it, for mate selection. How well can you supply me with material goods? Because I want a car and I want a house and I want these things. So now the worth of the man becomes this commoditized, that's it. He's commoditized. And what you have there is you've taken away all the values, or you've reduced all of the values down to money. And if you can do that, you really are like running the game and controlling everything. And it's a horrible thing to do to human beings, because there are things which, people would die for. So there are things that are more important than money. But, from a marketing and advertising point of view, and just from a general concern with the situation, no, you're not going to look at it that way. And the woman is especially not going to look at it that way. So those are my thoughts on that for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.